There we go. What's up, everybody? Hope you guys are doing good. Welcome to our Tuesday weekly live training. If you can see me and hear me okay, go ahead and jump in chat. Say hello. Tell me where you're coming from. And I've got some cool stuff to show you guys today. What's up, Adem? What's up, Mary? Awesome. So, what's up, Amanda? Huntington Beach. All right. I was just in a mastermind group last week, and we had a guy from Huntington Beach there. Super cool place. Awesome. So the purpose of these is twofold. One is I'm going to teach you and show you some new stuff, a couple things that I'm really excited to show you that I think are going to help you. And then the other is we open this up for live Q&A. So if you guys are struggling with anything or have any questions on how do I do blank, I'm here to help. And that can even be kind of a big picture idea. If you say, hey, I've got a bunch of emails and I need to know how to generate more sales from those, or I need to figure out like where I need to start doing lead gen, anything really marketing related or strategy related, that's where I can help you the most. Happy to help on some tech stuff too, but that's where we have our live chat tech support team that are awesome at that. This is your time with me where I can help you with any strategic stuff and big picture thinking. So I'm going to share my screen real quick, and then if you guys at any time want to jump into chat with your questions, happy to help answer some stuff there. So let me get my screens all teed up here. Hope you guys are having an awesome start of the week so far. Get my screens ready. All right. Clicked the wrong button. Okay. All right. The first thing I wanted to share, which is kind of cool here, we talked about this a little bit last time, and I'm happy to go through it again, but it's Conversation AI. This is a feature in Junior Rocket you can simply turn on, and you can feed it your own FAQs and let it crawl your website and make it where it has the intent to book an appointment or just to simply answer questions. I have it turned on just to answer questions, and I was going to show you an example of how it works. This actually came through last night for our Junior Rocket account. So if you look from left to right, you can see where it says it's coming from me, but it's actually the AI bot. So I have AI bot running all of our text messages. And get this, this is important. The AI bot we have set up, it's not trying to book someone into an appointment or get someone to like a final destination. It's simply there to help answer questions and be kind of keep the conversation going. And if you don't have this, I highly recommend turning it on. So you can see over here on the left-hand side, this is a quick email marketing piece. We helped somebody send out to their list. So last night, I was already asleep because I get up at crazy like 4 a.m. in the morning to do runs and stuff. So I was already asleep when this message came in, and it says, OMG, I already have 3 people reaching out for tasting. She does, one of the things she does is wedding cakes. So the AI bot responded to that text last night and said, from me, and said, that's fantastic. Let's keep the momentum going. How can I assist you further with outreach? She wrote back, I'm going to write the other 2 emails right now and get those over to you. I'm thinking I should have some more people. The AI bot said, sounds like a solid plan. Once you've got those emails ready, we'll get them out and hopefully see even more interest coming your way. Keep me posted. Like, pause right there. That's stinking amazing. That was better than I would have written back, but it gets the context, it gets the tone, and it's responding back. So imagine this in your business helping you out with just kind of admin back and forth. Then she wrote, this is amazing. And then pick up on the next side. AI bot says, yeah, it's really exciting to see things taking off. If you need more help, just shout. Says, I will. Thank you, Brad. AI bot says, you're welcome. Remember, I'm here when you need me. Have a great one. Last message, people are wanting to get on the train now. I'm headed somewhere. I don't know if you actually believed from the beginning or it was actually because I paid you. Either way, I'm glad to have you on my team. As you know, I have plans and they are not small. AI bot says, it's great to see the belief in your vision growing. Your plans and determination set the pace, and I'm here to support you every step of the way. Let's make those plans happen. I mean, guys, seriously, holy cow! Take this in for a second. This is crazy. Like Adim said, this is all while I was sleeping, and it gets the sentiment, the tone, understands what she's trying to accomplish, gives her support. And by the way, I do believe in her, and I agree with all these things the bot said. It'd be a problem if that was not the case. But I hope you can see the power of AI. A bunch of people talk about like, oh yeah, AI is great for scheduling social posts or writing a blog or creating email content or fill in the blank. But this is AI in action whenever someone is sending out a text, right? It automatically responds to that. How long does it train the bot to sound like you? It doesn't take long at all, Mary. Like, I'll show you in a little bit. You go in and you kind of put in your own frequently asked questions that is in your voice. And the more that you use it, the more that it's going to start to be trained to sound and act like you. So the first part is just turning it on and using it. And then when you see messages come in, I'll show you this in a second, but you can actually give it a thumbs up or thumbs down. So if Mary got a message and she was like, nope, this does not sound like me, she can give it a thumbs down and say, next time someone asks a question like this, you should respond this way. And so she's building up this library of content that the bot's getting trained on. And then Mary can be on the beach somewhere or on a cruise ship, let the bot take over, right? Which is the goal. So just to give you guys another example, and I'll show you a screenshot of my account. There was day before yesterday, had a client I was working with. Finally, he was ready to pull the trigger on a project. So he messages me back and says, hey, Brad, I found the link we can use for my calendar booking. Let me know if this will work. The bot said, hey, this is great. Thanks for sending that link over. And carried on a whole conversation with him and helped me actually close the deal. So while it didn't get him to the finish line, it got him warmed up so I could jump in the same thread and take over and get it closed. But the bot was there immediately to respond to his question. The customer does not get the comments while it's being trained. So they'll get the messages, right? Like, so if you have it on autopilot, that means it's automatically getting it sent out. But when you thumbs down it and say, send this next time, that's just internal. Now you can make it where it doesn't actually send the message and it just gives you the prompt or suggestion. So that means you still have to do some work, or you can make it where it automatically sends, and I'll show you where that is. But I wanted you guys to see, like, I hope you see the power of this. And this is the future of where everything's going, right? Like, that doesn't mean that the role of human is not necessary anymore, but the advantage of using AI that can answer questions and go back and forth means it can free up your time to do things that you want or should be doing, right? Let me show you one more thing here. There's 3 things I was going to show you guys today. Oh my gosh, this is huge. Okay. This literally just came out today. Like, I just found out this an hour ago, so it is super fresh. I haven't even tested it out. I know it works. If you have a website or a landing page built inside of Genie Rocket, first off, you should have one of these because they're awesome. But you can now make it is if you have a landing page built and one of your contacts goes to your page, it can trigger a workflow. What does that mean? Why is it important? Well, think about this. If you have, let's say Mary or Amanda, let's say you guys have a landing page that's offering a special or a service or something for an upcoming holiday that you're promoting, and it's on a special page you made in Genie Rocket. If you send someone a link to that page via text campaign or email campaign, and they go to that page, then that can automatically make it where that person gets a text message or gets an email or gets a tag, right? So how cool would that be? Say Mary has her FaceTime or Zoom live session today where she's training people on stuff, and she's promoting that on a page she's sending to people. So when she sends out a link, maybe to promote the event, and they go to that page, it's going to tell that they came to that page. So then maybe they get a text message in 5 minutes saying, hey, thanks so much for visiting the page. Hope you got signed up. Here's the Zoom link in case you forgot it, right? So it's called behavior-based marketing. Based on their behavior, you can start to trigger different marketing events. So that is awesome. I wanted to share that with you guys. And then this is a little bit deeper one. I'll have to do more of a screen share on, but this is something we're testing out that it is not so much automation or AI as it is automation, but you can set up a series of text questions that go to somebody. And based on how they answer those questions, it can flow them to the next question and get them to a desired result. So case here, let's see, Amanda, I think you're still on here. So let's say, Amanda, at the drip bar, that there is new leads coming in, and we wanted to ask a series of questions to those leads. So right now, by default, if someone usually comes into the drip bar, they get a text that says, hey, notice you're interested in the many benefits of IV vitamin drip therapy. Reply back IV if you'd like someone to reach out to you, and then it ends. And that's okay, and it works. But imagine if that person got a text message and it said their first name, let's say, um, hey, Brad, saw that you're interested in the many benefits of IV therapy. Quick question, have you ever had IV vitamin drip therapy before? I say yes or I say no. Based on how I answer that question, it's going to send me another question. So just to keep it short, if I said no, it would say, hey, that is completely fine, Brad. I'm glad to hear that you're interested in it. Um, would it make sense to get you booked in an appointment for your very first IV vitamin drip? And we can kind of give you a rundown of what to experience and expect. Does that work for you? Yes or no? Yeah, that sounds great. Next message. Great. Which of these times worked for you for your first IV vitamin drip? You're going to come in for a quick consultation. We'll help walk you through which drip to get you. Pick a time below. Boom, done. All through text, 24/7 while you're sleeping. Question answer, question answer, question answer. Booked. Um, Adversely, we could say, have you had an IV vitamin drip before? I say yes. It says, and they say, great. Have you ever been to the drip bar before? I say no. It says, great. We'd love to introduce you to the drip bar. What kind of drip were you interested in getting? So you can create this whole conversation workflow all in Genie Rocket and make it where, based on their response, it can take them down a certain path, and you can make this as big or small as you want to. So same thing for Mary or anyone else on here. As you're asking these questions, you can start to funnel people to different text messages, because truthfully, there's a lot more conversation and activity that can happen on a text message that can just happen by sending someone to a page, right? A landing page is kind of just a one-way conversation, and it's not very interactive and engaging. This can be a dynamic two-way conversation, and you're letting the automation take over. That doesn't mean it's going to be a random message from the bot. You don't have to train a bot here. You pre-write those messages, and based on how they answer, you send them the next message. So I'm going to show you how to do that now inside Genie Rocket. And yes, Mary, I'm glad you caught that. It is incredibly cool, guys. This is what other businesses are trying to figure out, and they don't know how to do it, or they're paying crazy amounts of money to do this, but you guys have access to it right now. And it is truly, truly a game changer. So I'm going to share my screen and show you how that's set up real quick. All right. So when you are in Genie Rocket and in a workflow, this all happens within a workflow. And it's actually a lot easier maybe than you think it is. So I'm just going to walk you through some of these steps. The trigger step up here means what's going to trigger that very first text. You can leave that blank. And if you leave it blank, that just means you can just manually put someone on it. So you can select a group of people and say, enroll them all in this workflow, and they're all going to get that text. Or you can say, if they have the tag of X, or like we talked about earlier, if they come back and visit my website, then put them through this automation. So the trigger is what starts it. And again, that can be a variety of things. It could be like on their birthday. So Drip Bar and Mary and everyone else, think about like if you have their birthday in here and it says on their birthday, they're going to get a text. Hey, I saw today is your birthday. Would you like me to send you something, a cool gift for your birthday? Yes or no, right? So you can get super creative with this, and you can create unlimited amounts of these. But anything can be a trigger. It can be birthday. It can be if a note's added, if a task is added, if a certain form was submitted. You can do lots of different things to trigger this automation. The next step is really simple. This is just a text message. So we just hit the plus button and we say SMS. I give it a name so I remember what it is. And then I write something simple like this. So I'm going to show you an example here. This is if I'm trying to get people into my free marketing workshop. For you, you can be thinking about what is a question you can ask them that's going to help you guide them to the next step. So my first question is, hey, first name, quick question. Have you been to one of our BAM free marketing workshops in Keller? Right? Pretty easy, not threatening, simple question. I'm going to turn off this stats view real quick. Then we add what's called a wait step. What that means is we are going to wait for their reply before they go to the next step. So this is wait, and then we're going to say wait for, and we're going to choose contact reply, and then we choose which reply we're waiting them to, or we're waiting for them to reply to, right? So this says wait, contact reply for the message called bin to BAM, and then if they don't respond in 3 hours, it's going to time out and take them to a next step that I'll show you in a second. Okay, so that's the wait step. And then we add a condition. So all we do in the plus sign is we type in the word if, and we use the if then else button, and then this pops up. And all we do here is we're going to say, you can create multiple of these, but we're going to say this one's called positive, and then we choose if they replied, and the intent type is positive yes. And then we add another one here called negative, and we say if they reply, and the intent type is negative no. And then by default, there's one that's just none, meaning they did not reply. So if it times out and they didn't reply, it'll go to none. So once we have that, we have positive, intent type is positive, negative, intent type is negative, or none. And then you can see it automatically creates these 3 branches. Now we have positive, negative, none. Real simple. So there's a message for each of these. So if they say positive, and with this is powered by Google's algorithm, so it knows if they're responding positive. So they could say sure, yeah, yes, cool, okay, positive. For negative, they could say no, no thanks, nah, I don't think so, etc. And it knows between positive and negative. So then we do the same thing. We say if they respond positive, we're going to send them this text message. So say, great, are you currently using Genie Rocket? Then the same thing. We say wait for the reply. So wait for, are you using Genie Rocket? And then we do another condition and say if they say yes, if they say no, if they say none. Right? So if they say no, then it says, would you like to come to a free lunch this Thursday at noon to learn more about Genie Rocket and how it can help you grow your business? Okay. And then here, I know this looks a little complicated, but it's worth it. So then we're going to wait for them to reply to that. And if they reply to the lunch invite and they say yes, then we use this, it's called the booking bot. And you can see I've chosen the calendar called VIP Demo and Lunch. And it's actually going to book them on the calendar just by saying, yep, I'm interested. It's going to say, great. It's at this date at this time. Does that work for you? They say yes. Boom, calendar invite sent, done. Okay. Then if they say no to that, so if they're invited to lunch and they say, nope, not interested, then I send this text. Hey, quick question, first name. If you had a magic wand, what would you change or fix with your marketing right now? It's going to wait for them to respond. And then it's going to reply to say, would you like to schedule a whiteboard session to discuss those ideas? It's going to wait. And then again, if they respond positive, yes, it books them into another calendar. If they respond negative, no, it says no worries, best of luck in all your endeavors. And then these little guys right here, go to, it looks confusing. This just means if they get to this spot, like if it's negative, I've already built out this negative workflow. So anytime someone responds negatively, I just say go to, and it goes to the negative response. And it says, hey, no problem. Hey, if you had a magic wand, what would you change in your business? Okay, so make sure to go back and watch this if you get stuck. But I would highly recommend that you guys try this out, because this is the future of marketing. Because honestly, like, so we still build websites, we still use websites, people still use landing pages convert all the time, they're great. But when you're trying to get someone in a conversation, this is incredible conversation marketing and you're help guiding people to the right step. So obviously the first step here is plan out what you want them to do. In this case, my goal is to get people into a BAM, a free marketing workshop, or a VIP lunch, or a whiteboard strategy with me. And then there's paths to get to each of those based on their responses. Okay, so it doesn't have to be this complex. You can start really small. If you're IV vitamin drip therapy, it might be, the goal might be, hey, we'd love to get them either sent a coupon and a discount or booked into a session where they actually come in. And then once they're in, we decide which drip they're going to get. And that's where they buy and get done, but just get them in the door, butts and seats, right? Um, or maybe it's to, I don't know, like watch a video or do something else. But think about what are the outcomes you have for those people, and then what are the series of questions you can ask them to guide them to get to that step. And then you can build out these flows of if this, then that in messaging. And guys, I built this out yesterday, and I'm pretty fast in here, but I mean, I was maybe in here for like 30 minutes, maybe 45 minutes, um, building this out as I went. And this one is pretty complex. Um, but I'm really excited to test it out and make it work. And you can actually see, I'll show you kind of an automation fail too, but that's okay. um, okay, let's see where this one was. Here we go. So you can see kind of how I course corrected. I'm going to show you an automation fail and why it failed, and then how I went back to make it okay. Okay, here we go. So this is the automation in action right here. So you can see she got this message. It says, hey, Diane, quick question. Have you been to one of our BAM marketing workshops? She says, I have not and promise I will soon. So based on the workflow I just showed you, it says, great. Are you currently using Genie Rocket? She said, no, I'm not. And it says, would you like to come to a free lunch this Thursday at noon to learn more about Genie Rocket and how it can help your business, grow your business? She said, well, normally I would probably say yes, but I also substitute teach and have a long-term assignment as a librarian that I'm doing right now. And so the bot got confused because she used the word yes. She said I would normally probably say yes. So then it went on to say, great, it's on Thursday at 12, we'll be able to make that. She said I cannot. And then it tried to get her a date to say, we currently have one opening. So I jumped in and said, sorry, my robot got a little out of control. Look forward to seeing you at a BAM session soon, Diane. And she put thanks. So there's going to be instances like that because AI is not perfect, but it's really, really good. And so if you can get it to work like this and continually get better, then you can create these really nice back and forth workflows. That means it's not you having to do all the messaging. You can spend your time optimizing and fixing and making it better instead of spending your time just doing all your one-to-one back and forths on a system like this. So I wanted to show you guys those three things with Genie Rocket, and then also open it up to any questions that you guys might have. So if you have anything that you are currently working on or challenged with or would like to go through, please put it in chat, and I'm happy to pull it up and help you guys on here. And while I'm waiting for anything to come in, I'll show you one more thing. So inside of settings and conversation AI is where you were going to turn on that automatic response bot. So you can see you have three options here. You can turn it off. You can turn it on suggestive, which means it's not going to send for you, but it's going to suggest what to say in the chat window. Or you can put it on autopilot. That's what I have it on. That will send it automatically. You can then pick the channels you want that to go in. So Instagram, Facebook, live chat, chat widget, SMS. Put them right in there. Give it a name. Put how long you want to wait before it responds. The maximum number of messages to send to a contact. How long to put the bot to sleep for after you manually send it to somebody. and then it's about 2 cents per response. So there is a slight cost to it because it's using some AI chatbot stuff. Um, that's a pass-through cost. That's not like a profit center for us. I wish it was, but that goes straight to the AI tool. And then if you do use this a lot, you can always upgrade for 79 bucks a month to the unlimited plan. I recommend just testing this out, see how much you use it. So that's the bot settings. The bot trial is where you can actually come in here and test it out. So if I want to type in something like, what is the rocket fuel retreat, just something that we do here, I can actually see how the bot's going to respond. So this is a great place to test it out. The Rocket Fuel Retreat is an intensive one-day private event where you'll get a lead generation system built and launched for your business. That's right. So I give it a thumbs up. The bot training, this is where you can put in all of your websites or your website, and it's going to read all the content from there. And you can also add in your own Q&A, right? So this is where it can be a little bit in your tone. So all the questions you normally get, you just throw them in here, and the bot will be able to answer those when someone asks one of those questions. And then lastly, under configure intents, we want to support general question and answer is turned on. Appointment booking, I turned off. I didn't like that because it always tried to get someone to book an appointment no matter what they were asking, which I don't want. And then for conversation flow, this basically is the first question that they will be asked. You can add multiple questions in here. I find this part a little bit clunky. I think if you have a really good question and answer and your website's in there, you really don't need a whole lot here. So we have, hello, this is Genie Rocket, how can we help? But then we let the rest of it just be basic AI, and it works really well. So that is under Conversation AI, and you can turn that on. And again, that can go for Instagram as a direct message, Facebook as a direct message, live chat if you have the chat widget installed, the SMS chat if you have the SMS chat widget installed, or just general texting, which is what I showed you earlier, which is really cool. So if someone is texting you or your shop or your business, you can make sure they get automatically responded to, and it does a really good job of flowing the conversation. And remember, the conversation AI is not the preset, like if they say this, then go here. The conversation AI is automatic and it flows really easily. So it actually is powered by conversational chat AI. So if they ask a question, it's going to try to answer it and it's going to go back and forth. It's not going to just stop because you didn't write the thing. It's going to have a great back and forth flow to it. And the other thing I showed you, which is in automations, and you can call it whatever you want. This is if you want to have a lot more control. Like I want to ask this question, and if they respond, I then want to ask this question, and it's a lot more specific. So if you have a very specific goal you're trying to get people to, that's where you can do this. To make it a little bit more interesting, and I'm still kind of experimenting with this too, we do have conversational AI as an action in here. What that means is instead of just a basic text, you can ask a question in here and do some conditions, and it tries to kind of synthesize what they're saying and respond in such a way where it kind of combines all the information. I find that there's a lot more issues and errors with that because if there was a previous conversation, it can just get a little bit messy, but you can absolutely test that out. And what I recommend is when you build this, when you want to test it, just click this test workflow up here at the very top and put in your information or type in your information, and you can actually test it out yourself to see exactly how it works. I'm not seeing any questions in here, which is great. So hopefully you guys are taking this in. And if you are watching live, thanks for joining me live. If you're watching the replay of this, make sure too you go back and watch the replay because we covered some pretty cool stuff in here with conversation AI, with SMS chatbot conditional logic of how to take people through specific questions and answers. And I showed you the results from that. I also showed you when it goes kind of a little bit haywire, how you can quickly jump in and fix it, how you can train your bot with thumbs up, thumbs down. And then also, if you do have a landing page or a website built inside of Genie Rocket, how we have a new workflow act or trigger where if they visit your page, then you can automate some actions, which is really neat. So I'm going to go ahead and sign off. Those are the things I was going to show you. Unless you guys have any questions you're going to throw in chat. I hope you guys are doing some awesome stuff in Genie Rocket. Make sure too, if you do get stuck, this little purple icon right here in the bottom right, just hit get help and then chat with an agent, and our agent will jump in quickly. We've got about 10 people on live chat support that are fast and awesome. And yeah, that is the place to go. If you're trying to build one of these out and you're like, I have no idea what I'm doing. When I was building this out myself, I actually used our own help chat to do it, and they were very helpful. So if you ever come to me with questions, I'm going to direct you to them because they are smarter than me, faster than me, better than me. And that's where you should go because they're a big help. But thank you guys for joining live. I hope you got some good value out of this. If you get stuck, go to chat. I would love to see you next week and maybe see some examples of what you guys are building and how you're using it. Can't wait to see you next time. Thanks for joining me today.